Welcome back, everyone, to the Hot Mix, an InstroTek podcast. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Maurice.
And today we are bringing you, not a new time, not a first time, but a long time guest.
Yes. The empty chair says something over there, right? It means that we have someone here that we really like. He's actually been on the podcast before, so I think this is our first returning guest, I believe.
It is.
You know,
actually, Pranav might be.
Pranav, yeah. Well, you know, we have a couple favorite people that we love having on the podcast, and today we have Mr. Bryce Wuori. Come on in, Bryce.
Hey, there he is. Yeah, man.
Hold on, buddy. So,
brother.
Good to see you guys.
Oh, thanks, Bryce. Appreciate you. Bryce was just kind of coming through the South and decided to give us a call and say hello and come on the podcast. So we really appreciate it. Obviously, Bryce is the founder of Pavewise, a software company that is for field use. He has many different uses in the field for his software and data collection, from equipment to everything that's going on in the field, weather stations that collect a lot of information, and really puts the lab and the foreman and the plant and the field people all in touch together, which is a very needed thing in the industry. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and where they are with Pavewise and how much it's grown over the last. You were here when last, Bryce? A year ago?
It's been about a year.
About a year. So about a year ago, we're going to talk about how much it's grown since then. But to kick it off, I think, Anthony, we want to start with a discussion because it's very pertinent to this conversation and his company about artificial intelligence. I don't know how many conferences you go to, Bryce, but every conference we go to, it's a hot topic. I was just at AASHTO Comp meeting in Connecticut, Hartford, Connecticut, and it was they gave a very sombering presentation about AI and our construction industry. So we're going to kind of dive into that a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, and one of the focuses for us here at the Hot Mix is we always talk about workforce and how we can bring new people into the industry.
Of course, yeah.
So one of the questions that I had for you in terms of AI and our industry is, how do you think that that's going to affect a younger workforce, or how is it going to encourage a younger workforce?
Yeah, the younger workforce is ingrained in technology already.
Yeah.
I think of my 13-year-old son, he uses technology to do almost everything. And from a very young age, it's just been part of his life. It's an extension to them. In one ways, I think the industry can really start to excel and attract some of these younger generation individuals into this industry is through technology. I'm thinking of my son going to be a density technician and gets handed a piece of pen and paper. He's gonna
the keyboard.
Yeah, he's gonna right away be like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
And so like moving the industry into advancements using AI, using automation, and AI is just such a broad term.
Sure.
You can go from computer vision to, actual natural language APIs, learning models. There's so much of AI that gets kind of bundled into that. Right. But ultimately, it's a tool. It is a tool that's going to help our industry be more efficient. I've heard this for the last few years, but 30% of the workforce is expected to retire by 2030.
Yeah.
Are we going to replace 30% of the workforce? I don't think so. If we get half of that and we can make more of the workforce more efficient by using automated technologies to capture the data, put it where it needs to go, that's how I see the industry kind of advancing with AI and technology to replace that void that we see. But again, I like it because one of the reasons I connect with my son is he likes construction, but he loves technology. He loves ChatGPT, and he loves all these things because it gives him knowledge and does things for him that saves him time.
Sure,
absolutely. And I think we do need the younger people in our industry. I think there's a lot of knowledge leaving the industry over the next 10 years, right? And the quicker we can get those younger folks up to speed, even if it's using AI or learning programs that can help them, ramp up, so to speak, I think it's going to be a good thing for the industry. I know it's a little bit scary because we're really at its infancy. But look, I'm going to age myself here. I'm a little bit older than you guys. I remember when the internet came along, and it was a scary thing too. People didn't know, well, is that the end of brick and mortar? Sure. Are we all just going to be shopping online? And for the most part, we are. But there is still the mall. There's still the downtown that you can go to, and there's shops. Mm-hmm. I think we will find a good medium for it, and I'm hoping it'll be used for everything that will help us grow as an industry, as a country, whatever you call it. But I think there's a definite place for it. It's not going to go away, right?
Yeah.
So we might as well talk about it, get comfortable with it, so we can see where the opportunity lies.
Yeah, one kind of addendum to that is, do you think that there's anything you can do to prep to get ready?
You know, it's changing so fast. That's one of the most difficult things about AI. You know, we have a development team that is constantly, we're changing our software, and a lot of it is because of the changes in AI itself. We're doing things like computer vision that we're extracting data out of phones and images that people used to manually have to write down.
Yeah.
And the advancements of those types of technologies that then you can think about like, oh, I can actually just take a picture of this and it fills out this form for me or gives me the location and saves me this time. So if I had any advice is you try it. You find somewhere in your process that's like, this takes me time and it's redundant, or it's something that I do over and over again. That's a good place for AI.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
AI is a tool that data driven, you feed it, it's going to do what you tell it to do. And there's a lot of that in construction.
Yeah.
We do a lot of the same things over and over and
Right.
over again, right? So like filling those voids in with AI is where I see it helping this industry the most.
Absolutely. I think I think you nailed it on the head. It's basically going from a pen and paper situation, which we kind of through the digital age started moving away to an expedited way of doing things that we're now using computers to help us with those tasks that in the past took us hours. And now they can be compressed down to maybe a few minutes, maybe 50 minutes, whatever it is the task is. But yeah, the AI is just everywhere. It's really being ingrained in everywhere, from business processes to TV, music, entertainment. It's just everywhere. So we better start talking about it. We better get comfortable with it because it's here to stay. I don't think we've opened that Pandora's box, so to speak. Yeah. And I think we need now to address it and say, how do we use this? Now, one of the questions I had about AI, and we're going to get a little bit into what you just talked about, right? Being able to look at a picture and extract data. I think that's really good. And that's something that Pavewise Pro, the software that you have built, does excellent in the field. I'm going to kind of demo that here in a minute. But as far as AI is concerned, it doesn't really have a moral compass, right? It's basically a tool. It doesn't know what's good from right. And sometimes it can make mistakes. I think the algorithms are still being worked out. It's gotten much better, and it's increasingly getting better. So I think we'll get to a point where, mistakes are minimized, if not eliminated. But without that moral compass, can you use AI, or can someone using the AI create things that are false? Or how do you protect against that? Because at that conference, Mike Copeland from Idaho DOT gave a presentation where he used ChatGPT to create a script that kind of was put into the AI to create a fake result, right? And it was very sobering for a lot of people, a lot of eye-opening. There are a lot of state engineers there that were like, wow, you can do that. And he did that in real time. I mean, he did it during the presentation. And people were really kind of like, oh my God, yeah, we have to kind of protect ourselves. So where do you see that? Where do you see the moral compass? Is that really left to humans to police, or is it left to companies like yourself to put in guidelines and rules in the AI that will not allow that and keep the data clean and productive for people in the industry?
You got right to it.
I did. I went right for it.
To it today.
Well, and I mean, like, this is something we talk about all the time because we are pretty heavy on the back end with AI from our natural NL API that is, you're talking to your spec books. Well, for us as a company, our biggest goal is giving you the most accurate data possible. So we don't want hallucination and things from the open web that could be false. We want you to have confidence when you do this process, ask this question, you're going to get something back that is highly accurate. You're talking 99% accurate because we vault this information in. It only talks to the documents that you want it to talk to. It's not using that open source. So that's one way we mitigate that risk. And the moral side of it is, yeah, you can train your models to be biased. We had this test. We uploaded a whole bunch of articles into our NL API spec chat and from different magazines. And we asked it, like, what is the best brand of roller? And its job is to scan through all the documents that brought up the word roller and give you feedback from what somebody else wrote.
Right.
And it has no it can't really judge it. It's just using the data that's in front of it. So it can create bias.
Right.
And it's really hard to manage that bias.
Yeah, how do you mitigate that inside a software program that's kind of thinking for itself, right?
It's the data that it's feeding
Yeah.
it, right? So that's where it begins. And I mean, that's something that we're learning every day. The big players in the industry, everybody, it's like the data that you input into these is the data it's going to use.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's interesting. That's the next big thing with AI is how are we going to create those moral compasses? How
Right.
there's people even getting addicted to ChatGPT and some of these things because they're constantly asking questions. They're asking personal questions that it doesn't really understand their full perspective on what it is they're asking. They're just giving it information based off of what they can find.
Right.
So the moral side of it is something I see is the next big step in the AI
Correct.
evolution.
And I'm sure it's something that'll develop with a lot of the people that are doing these AI models. And I feel like we will get there with it. But there'll be some stumbling blocks, right? I think mistakes will be made, just like with everything else. But given enough time, I think we can work through it and kind of really hone in on the models being as accurate as possible, not using that bias to kind of give you data.
In explaining to the customers how it works, because a lot of people think AI, oh, that's going out in my data is going somewhere, or they're just really unfamiliar with how it works. When in reality, most AI it's been around. Computer vision, I mean, that's AI that's been around for 10 years.
Right.
We're just using it differently now. And its capabilities are becoming so much more advanced that we're using it in ways we've never seen.
Absolutely.
So we try to be very clear with our customers if they are a little hesitant on how the AI works. It's like, now listen, like only the data you put into this is what it's going to read.
Right.
So and that's helped us quite a bit, and that's where we focus on, as well as like we are focused on the accuracy of the data to help you do your job as fast as possible. And I think that's going to be more of how you run your company.
You know, one area I wish AI was a little better at?
What's that?
It's in my social media, man. Every time I make a typo in a search, next thing you know, I got tons of videos about whales. I'm like, I wasn't looking for whales. I was looking for a sail. I'm like, what is this about?
Whales, sails.
Yeah,
You're looking for the big whale within the
I'm
sail.
looking for an AI that knows the difference, and cannot just also feed me as much as it can about whales.
There's any AI out there to get me biceps like that, man?
Well, Photoshop.
Oh, got it. That was nice.
Yeah, you can go to the gym.
That is getting
About the dad bod last episode. I don't go to the gym.
Yeah, that is getting like some of the advancements, and that's where it gets scary with AI, is where you can start, regenerating photos that don't even exist that look so real and things like that. That's the scary part about it.
Yeah.
But it's true. I mean, like some of the things we can do with AI right now is just unbelievable. Now, most of it is not really helping advance our society yet.
No.
It will get there,
Yeah.
but I read an article published by MIT that 95% of companies that have adopted some AI aren't fully convinced yet that it's going to benefit them. They're still testing it. It's still in a pilot. Like, how is this actually helping us? So it's such a new thing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, it's wonderful to be here, but it's also a little scary.
Yeah.
And I haven't been without my moments of like, they can do what? And you're realizing like, what does this mean for us as humanity? Not just like us as an industry or whatever, but I think ultimately it'll work out. I really do.
And we're always talking about repeatability in this industry, right? You named it earlier when you were like, the contractors, they're so used to doing the same thing over and over, and this will replace and fill that gap. And they're sometimes hesitant to it because they're not used to it. It's new. But on the other side, we're like, we want things to be repeatable. And that's really the perfect use case for it, right? So it just creates the same thing over and over and over again for you. So I know when we're talking in our industry, that's been a point of contention is like, does this fill the gap? How does it fill the gap? Well, repeatability is something we talk about. It's a jargon word that we haven't talked about.
Yeah.
Well, teaser. or bring that up. It's something that we're going to talk about a piece of equipment that we use, that's going to kind of show a little bit about that today.
Absolutely. So you were talking, well, before we move on, one last thing on AI, because we got other things to get to. What do you see coming up as far as legislation? I know the government is really the one that really moves things forward, right? If they approve it, if they allow it in, and we're talking more about state DOTs that help us build our roads, them actually using it. Do you see legislation moving that way quickly with your software and what they can expect from your company, or are they kind of hesitant right now too? Where is that right now in your business?
There's definitely more hesitancy with the DOTs, agencies. They have more protocols in place. They are very interested in adopting some of it. And it's some of those agencies that have the most inefficiencies, as we've seen with the political things going on right now. And the political team right now is really pushing AI. It's a race, and they see how it's going to impact the workforce, make the whole society better. There's going to be some things that it does that also does the opposite.
Right.
But we've had to go through a few of these security checks with our system and how it works, and they're in place and they're there to protect them. But it's moving along well. And this is one of the times with technology that we see some of those government agencies actually moving through a process fairly quick.
Okay.
And that's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's great. No, that is absolutely great. And it's good that, we are in a time where the government does see the value in it. And I think moving forward, and I don't care if it's local, your state, federal, there is a big push for it. I think, and again, the United States has always led for a very long time, and I think we just need to keep up with it because other countries are going to get into it. Yeah. And you don't want to be left behind. It's just how we wield that sword is what really going to matter, and what's going to set us apart as a society. So, so moving away a little bit from AI, not totally, we're going to actually demo something that your software does. Just give us like the quick synopsis of what everything Pavewise does right now. Like last year, we knew what was then. Where are we now with Pavewise? What can it do for a contractor?
And this is, the crazy world of we're a startup. We're a technology startup disrupting an industry that's been around for 100 years. I mean, I don't even know. And we're changing behaviors and processes, pen and paper, digitizing these things. But in just a short pitch, what Pavewise Pro is, it's a centralized platform for you to bring in that data so that we can analyze it, put it in the right forms, help you with your compliance, a communication tool that allows all the team members to see this data in real time.
Right.
Because when you have access to that kind of data in real time, you can make decisions quicker. You can act on improvements. You can use data to improve your entire profits, your process, and data is so powerful. And there's a lot of it out there in the industry. The problem is it's all over. Yeah. And we try to really bring that in and then use AI, state specifications, what you're trying to achieve as a company, and make it simple to understand. Yeah. And that's what Pavewise Pro is, and that's what a piece of it is Density Plus.
Density Plus, yeah.
Where we use computer vision. This was a task that over and over and over again, people are out writing down results off of a gauge for compliance. It's either required or they're doing it for QC. But then that data gets transferred into a notebook, into an Excel spreadsheet, emailed off. It's a 5-step process, right? We're doing it in a 2-step process where you can just take a picture, hit upload. And the AI does everything, marks the location and everything.
Speaking of that, we're actually going to show you that bit of how the software works, which I think is really cool. And Bryce is right about everything he said about his software, but he added a beautiful UX and UI to it, right? The user interface is great. It's easy. It's simple, easy to understand, great for field people. And then, all the data you can get from it, whether it be weather location or weather information, that he actually builds into it with weather stations that he can provide. Ground truth is excellent. But for now, I have the handy dandy no-nuke. No, it's not that heavy. I need to work out more is what that means. So we're just going to turn this on.
Maybe the dad bod grabs it, huh?
Let's, okay. So what we're going to do here is just demonstrate real quick. I think you're recording on your phone, so we can kind of show this to the audience.
Let me swap with you.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick test, and with the Anthony, would you like to do the honors with a quick test here?
Yeah, I'll do the quick test.
No, just push it on top. Yeah. So or yeah. So all we're going to do is take a quick test here with the Nonuk. It takes about 3 seconds to have some data come up on the screen. And if you're in the field, all you would do with Bryce's app is open up the app, get to the data capture screen, which is basically just a photo picture, and just snap a quick photo of it. And just like that, it'll grab your all the data and then put it into the right form.
All right. Yeah. So, I mean, it's super simple. And we had to develop this simple because these individuals are in the field. They're busy. They all have a phone on them. And we even have Zoom feature in here. And you just simply go over top of this. You take a picture. And what our AI will actually do is analyze it and put that location in just like that. We're here at the InstroTek headquarters, and it'll part it in there. We could put a tag to this, so if it's a breakdown, if it's a core, we can tag it. And what this does is gives real-time insights to the QC manager, the team, the roller operator, anybody on the team. And then it builds out a report at the end for them to submit if they need to pull out any of that data for the regulations on the work they're doing. And we can put in pay factors. So we take the state specifications for incentives for what's required, and the AI analyzes that picture, puts it in there, and then we could put even requirements on there. So if you're a manager and you're required to pull 93% densities and you get multiple shots below that, text notifications go out, and you can see what's going on in that project, call out. So it's a tool that traditionally this process would go from field to a transfer over to something else, transfer over to something else. This is all real time happening in real time. And then you also have proof of the work that you just did, the location, the timestamp, the image. So if you ever need to go back and find this location, do anything, boom, it's there.
It's all there.
Boom.
Yeah.
It's done, and it's that simple. We've kept it so simple that it's just hitting this right here, coming over, and we even have a zoom feature, so you don't even have to bend over. Boom, away it goes.
And you're done.
Done, and you're on to your next one.
That's awesome. Yeah, again, that's just one. Thanks, Bryce. That's awesome. That's just one of the features of the Pavewise suite of software that he offers. And to be honest with you, it's very impressive that he has built this in a matter of a handful of years, right? You guys started probably, 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, it used to be all manual inputs, and we realized nobody really wants to spend the time on a phone to type in things, right? So we're like, well, we can use computer vision and train models to, depending on how the screen's reading and things, and organize it for them.
Right.
And that's where the computer vision really kind of came in and filled a void where we can do this for you.
Yeah.
And that's the exciting part about AI is like those things like that you have to do, but take your time and can produce error, right? Handwritten, wrong transfer, whatever. It does it for you.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite thing about this part of our software is when we have a density technician who's a little bit hesitant to try a new technology, and then they run it for a few days and they're like, hey man, you're actually saving me like an hour a day in paperwork after we're done paving that I go through my journal and transfer this all over into an Excel. You're doing it for me like in real time. And then like my boss isn't calling me, bugging me, asking me like, how are things going? He's seeing exactly what's going on. So it's one of those tools that helps just everybody stay on the same page. It helps with that time savings, and that's what it's all about.
This is the right way to use AI, I believe. It's like we have a lot of things that it can be used for, but I think one of the ways we use it is to compress time and actually make people's lives easier and be able to do more with less. So I think it's absolutely true. So I really appreciated that demo. Thanks so much for that. And like I said, if you want to check out more information about Pavewise, the company, Pavewise Pro, or their free app, SpecChat that we talk about all the time, I use all the time.
So generous, man.
SpecChat is free for everybody, and it's just a software, an AI software that looks up specifications within your state. So you can tell what state and ask it a question just like you would ChatGPT, and it'll give you the results, also annotated so you can follow links and see where it all came from, just to verify the data you're getting, right? So I really appreciate that. So thanks for that as well.
Basically, you're the Google of the spec world.
Well, that's our goal, right? I mean, it's like
The Google spec world. I'm gonna have to use that. Google, that you should use
you're
that. Google.
I got that. I actually got that from AI earlier.
But no, it's really helpful.
Well,
too,
I
if
think
you
we
look
should
at
move on to our nugget.
Yeah, yes. Okay, so we do have a nugget for you. This is kind of on the opposite end of technology, right? And it's something Bryce said, hey, I'd really love this. So what you got to understand with Bryce, he's in the field 24/7. I think he lives out there. Anybody that travels with him knows they're not going to be out for an easy stroll. They're going to be working. They're going to be on the paving site, out there with the contractors, and that's what we really love about him. We get so much information about what's going on out there because he's doing it, right?
Yeah, you better like eating on the road.
No,
literally eating on the roadway.
Like on the asphalt mat as it's being produced. You're going to be the first one there. So he said, hey guys, I got this really cool low-tech thing that I have been really loving. So this is our nugget. So bring it out, Bryce. Tell us what you got. And it's a shoe.
And these are actually, they were used and they'll be used again today, but this is just a shoe. It's a simple Asphalt Pro shoe that has been designed for the industry with, it's got heat resistant soles in it. So your feet don't sweat. They're as comfortable as a tennis shoe, good support. And I love these things. You can get them with a carbon fiber toe or steel toe, and they're just so comfy, and they got a smooth bottom on them, so you don't have all those indents where you got to try to pull out mix. And I've had a pair of boots melt and start melting before. I
Familiar.
I mean, you think about it. We're on 300 degree down to 180. That's hot, right? And these just make my life so much more comfortable if I'm back there working with the crews, because they're comfy and all that. And I just love finding the simple things that make your job and just your comfort that much better. And this is one of them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I love them.
Yeah,
well, thanks so much. And again, we're not being sponsored by this company. In fact, we know of them, and we're going to try to reach out to them, see if we can put them on hmalabsupply.com.
Yeah.
So we can also offer them to everybody out there. But if Bryce is telling us this, it really means something, because I'm sure he's used them a lot, and I think it's a good for anybody that's out in the field using these shoes. They look like they've been worn well, Bryce.
Well, yeah, these ones are actually 1.5 years old too. Yeah. So like these, I mean, there's probably mix on here from about 10 different states. Yeah, and
Ice on that, and maybe a little bulk on it. See what we get.
Right, but like that's the other neat thing about them is like you don't have to clean them near as much as like a grooved shoe or something that kind of it melts in. And I truly love them, and I've just been a huge advocate ever since I got them, and they're great.
We really appreciate it. No, we appreciate anytime someone has a little tidbit for us, something in the industry that, hey, this works. It works well, and we should let people know about it. So I think that the shoe is a great one. I thought he was going to come up with we did this AI robot that does for you in the lab everything. No, he comes out with a shoe.
That'll be next podcast.
That'll be the next one. The next iteration of Pavewise Pro will be an actual humanoid robot in the lab doing things. But anyway, thank you, Bryce. We certainly appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. It's always great having you here and you sharing this knowledge. The topic was on point. I think AI is super important. So. Thank you so much. Good luck with everything. I know if you want to know more about Bryce, we'll put the link in the description, PavewisePro.com, right? You can find out more about his company, but he's so accessible, and I'm sure you can get to him. He's traveled all over the United States with contractors on the ground, and if you need him to come out to see your operation and see how Pavewise Pro can help you, just give him a call, contact him on his website.
And thank you all so much for joining us today and supporting us. Please remember to like and subscribe. And as always, we really appreciate everything that you do for us here at the Hot Mix. And just remember to keep it hot.
Keep it real.
Keep it real hot.